Lord. It was predestined. Yet before you was even born, you was going to be sitting in here this morning. God already knew that you would be here. You probably thought that maybe I'll get up and go to church this morning or something, but God had already preordained this.
Yes, sir. Praise you, Lord. Praise you.
The deacon's staff.
Amen.
Today's lesson is coming from a familiar passage in the Gospel according to Matthew chapter 9. Very familiar. Chapter 9 starting with verse 20. Matthew chapter 9 starting with verse 20. If there need to be a title, the title would be A Blessing in Your Press. Sing, Jesus is the answer. Yes. A blessing in your pressing. Yeah. Jesus is the answer. Yeah. Matthew chapter 9, starting with verse 20. Very familiar. And when we get there, because it's not by saying praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. And behold, a woman which was diseased with an issue of blood 12 years came behind him and touched the hem of his garment. For she said within herself, if I may but touch his garment, I shall be made whole. You may be seated. Some people have issues. But if you like me and some of us, we have issues. More than one issue. Bills, marriage, health, job issues, money issues, relationship issues, children issues. See, the Bible tells us many of stories about suffering. And the most famous is the story of Job, of his pain and his heartache and how he endured for this period of time. In addition, we have the suffering of Joseph and Jeremiah and others that experienced suffering, but endured and pressed on. There's a blessing in your pressing. In our text, we read about a woman who is suffering greatly. The Bible does not tell us much about this woman, but I've got a picture of her in my mind. I can visualize her as a decent woman, a woman of kindness and gentleness. I sense that she would have spent a great deal of praying and pleading to God for a healing. If she didn't start out poor, she now is poor.
All right now. Yes, sir.
And has spent all her money on doctors. But now she's depressed and irritated and dysfunctional. She's not able to participate in the things with other people, not even able to go into the temple. Having to live the rest of her life like this. But then she heard about Jesus. He's coming to town. Think about it for a minute. If you heard that someone was coming to town that had something that you need, you would be trying. She said to herself, he healed others. He can heal me. Some of us need to be more like this woman and say, if he can do it for others, I know he can do it for me. You see, she rushed to the center of town, breathless and hoping she could still catch him. But then she stopped shortly when she saw Jesus surrounded about the crowd, making her way to the center of town. You see, the crowd of people was around Jesus. And it was bad enough that she couldn't get close to him, but he was surrounded. She would have to touch the others
Yes, sir.
to get close
Yeah.
to him,
Yeah.
to spread her uncleanness on them. But frankly, at this point, she didn't care.
All right.
She lived too long this way, and she sensed that maybe if she could just touch him, she could be healed. If only she could just touch the hem of his garment. In other words, she was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Sometimes you got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired of that mess, of that stress, and all of that junk. That heartache. You gotta be sick and tired of that stuff. And you gotta press on.
Press on.
Jesus is.
Press
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's it. That's it.
Press she made.
Yeah.
Her way. She heard the people talking. What Jesus was about to do.
Yeah.
What his mission was. He was on his way to heal Jairus' daughter who was near death. And Jesus was making his way to his home to heal her illness. And dismayed, she realized that Jairus was a ruler
Yeah. Yeah.
of the synagogue, a man of great importance. He was somebody. She was nobody. She was nobody to herself and to others, but God.
But God. But God.
But God.
She never get Jesus' attention now, but she was desperate. And in your desperate times, you have to press on. If you want to get your healing, if you want to get your deliverance, if you want to get a change in your life, you got to press on. You got to press on the church. Even the haters are trying to hold you back. You gotta press on. Even when you have a headache, you got to press on. Even when you're having an argument with your spouse, you got to press on. You gotta press on. You want to get something from the Lord in a moment of inspiration, it occurred to her that this man, Jesus, is a very great healer. Maybe if she could just touch him, maybe if she could just quietly make her way through the crowd and touch him. If she could just touch the hem of his garment, she may be healed. There's a blessing in your pressing. You see, in those days, the Jews wore cloaks. They had tassels on every four corners. The tassels had a blue cord weaving into it, which reminded of God's law and their duty to keep the law. You see, she believed that if she could only touch that part of his garment, she would be made whole. You see, faith, it can catapult you into a blessing. Faith can move mountains. Faith can change your situation. Faith can keep you in the midst of your storm. It can lift you up out of the miry clay and give you a blessing. A fresh new anointing. You see, she slowly moved, making her way through the crowd. Nobody paid much attention to her, perhaps because her shawl may have been pulled down close over to her face to avoid them from recognizing her as the unclean woman. And she is probably, some of them are probably annoyed by being pushed by one more woman in the crowd. And at last she is close. And she hears Jesus and Jairus talking, and quickly she kneels down and brushes her hands around the tassels, and immediately she feels a change in her body. It's like a tingling feeling, a warming sensation through her body, and she knows she has been healed. She knew she had a blessing in her presence, and Jesus Jesus was the answer. How many of you know this morning that Jesus is the answer? If you trust in Jesus in the midst of your problems, in the midst of your storm, in your mess, in your stress, Jesus is the answer. Searching all over, trying to find some help. You've been in and out of situation. You've been going to different people trying to find some help. But I stopped by to let you know on my way to heaven that Jesus. Yes. Now she moves away before anyone has recognized her and condemned her for having touched them and making them unclean. She must disappear into the crowd. But then to her horror, Jesus stopped and he turned around and particularly looking at her, he said, "Who touched?" He demanded. Everyone thinking that Jesus was asking who shoved him, who had pushed against him, or who had bumped him, and no one wanted to have that on them or be guilty of that. Even the disciple Peter responded that everybody has pushed and crowded you, Lord. How can you say someone has touched you when everybody has touched you? But this wasn't no regular touch. This was a touch of faith. There's something about a touch of faith that can lift you up out of your mess. There's something about a touch of faith that can lift you up out of your stress. There's something about... Y'all don't want to help me this morning. But she knew that he meant her, and she knew that there was no escape. And in her fear and in her trembling, she fell to her knees before him, and perhaps afraid of being punished, or maybe even being afraid of the healing being taken away. We don't know, but we know she pleaded her case to Jesus, and she explained what drove her to touch him. You see, we gotta be able to reach out and touch Jesus when we're going through, when all else has failed. Why don't you try Jesus instead of waiting till all else has failed? Why don't you try Jesus first? You looked around trying to search, but you should have been searching up higher. So she pleaded her case to Jesus, and she explained what had driven her to touch him with her unclean hands, and then almost continually she was smiling and she was telling him, I've been healed. And Jesus, and I can see Jesus reaching down and pulling her up and said, daughter, your faith has made you whole. Go in peace. There is something about that kind of faith that can take you from one blessing to another blessing to another blessing. If you have enough faith just to step out when everybody else is holding back. If you have enough faith to keep on coming when everybody else say they ain't going. If you have enough faith to keep what can we learn from all of this? Some people have read this passage and come to a false conclusion that doctors are a bad idea. But God ordains doctors. He ordained medicine. So if you stop taking your medicine if you want to. There is nothing wrong with doctors, you see, because the scripture never condemns them. You know, Luke was a doctor. He was Paul's doctor that accompanied Paul on his missionary journey. There's a couple of even deeper lessons to be learned here. I believe that this woman suffered profoundly. She suffered so much that it affected her. I believe because she suffered so much that it really affected her. You see, suffering It affects us, it brings out change in us when it brings us closer to God. When we're suffering, when everything else is gone, when we lost everything else and there's nobody else, we start really depending on God. We become closer to God. At our lowest moments, it's easy to hear God when you are stripped of your pride and your arrogance, when you don't have nothing to rely on but God. I'm going to say that again just in case you missed it. Might have been texting or something. Just daydreaming, thinking about the game this evening. See, it's easy to hear God when you are stripped of your pride and your arrogance, when you have nothing to rely on except God. Anyone know what I'm talking about? Have you ever been stripped of your pride and your arrogance and you haven't had nothing but to rely on but God? Have anybody ever turned their backs on you and left you standing there with your mouth wide open and you don't know what's going on? I stopped by to let you know that we serve a God. You don't want to go there. It's pretty painful to get to that point, but when you do, God is there. Suffering has a profound effect on this woman, and Jesus heals her, and suffering can have a profound effect on us as well. It can change us. It can strip away all the wants in life. It can cause us to realize what is
That's true. All right.
what is really important in our lives, and it can draw us closer to a personal walk with Jesus. Jesus gave this woman exactly what she needed. You see, Jesus had already healed her. He'd been on his way to heal this little girl from dying. He was walking along with this religious leader, and she was just a common woman that nobody wanted to be around. Why stop and make a spectacle when there was so much more important things to do? Why would Jesus just stop and turn around and say, "Who touched me?" Jesus could have done and said anything he wanted. He wanted to make a point. So he chose to put the spotlight on this woman who wanted nothing but to get away and not have no attention on her. She just wanted to go back to her home and go about her own life. But Jesus obviously has something else in mind. A blessing in your pressing. Jesus is the answer. You see, he had already healed her of a physical problem, but that wasn't what drove her to press her through the crowd to touch him. Something other than her physical problem, her physical condition that drove her to push her to the edge and drove her to her feet. It was her uncleanness. You see, the blood, she could have lived with that, but it was the solitary and the spiritual death she was experiencing day after day that had ruined her life. And when Jesus stopped in public to expose her and heal her, she needed nothing else. You see, Jesus is the answer. Everybody knew she was healed. They didn't need a second-hand experience. They didn't have to buy a newspaper or turn on the TV or listen to it on the radio. They knew she was healed. They knew it was safe to touch her. You see, the value of coming to Jesus is that he can change us on the inside. I'm talking to somebody this morning to see we can dress up and put on new clothes and makeup and even get our hair done and look good on the outside. But it's something about when Jesus touches you on the inside, it can change you. You have a brand new walk, a brand new talk, a brand new dance. Jesus is the answer. He takes our damaged lives and make them in the image of Him. And then He heals us in a way that makes others realize that we are safe to be around. And the lights of Jesus shines in us. And somebody might ask you every once in a while, you look a lot different now. What is it different about you? It's Jesus that's living on the inside of you. You don't do them old things. You don't say them old things.
All right.
That's it.
Come on, Nancy. Have you ever had one of those throw in the towel days? Like you gave your all,
Yeah.
and yet it seems not enough and not good enough. I mean, you've done your best, and your best is not good enough. You come to the end of your life, hope rope, and ties a knot and hold on, and it seems like the knot is choking you to death. I mean, like you spend all, you show all, you help all, and you're left as it seems with nothing else, and not even nothing more. If you ever felt like this, if you ever been there, then you can identify with this woman in the text this morning. This woman is sick and tired of being sick and tired of an issue of blood. You see, some of us have issues, money issues, job issues, husband issues, even issues in the church, children issues, stress issues, issues in our home. Look at it. And she had spent all that she had, and yet was not even better. And perhaps to top it all off, add to insult to injury. Look at this. It didn't even say her name. Didn't even give a title for her name. It says a certain woman. But don't feel sorry for her. I have any pity on her, because the text says, later on in the text it says that she was victorious. You see, the best is yet to come. When you think it's all over in your life, God can step into your life. He can step into your situation. He can stop all that mess and all that stress from going on, all of them ups and all of them downs, all of them people that's trying to hold you back. If you lean and depend on Jesus, Jesus is able to make a way out of no way. There's someone in here today in that same boat as she was, in that same sick situation, wearing those shoes, feeling like this certain woman. You spent all that you had, and nothing seems to get better. You feel like it's only getting worse. The text says this certain woman, maybe there was other women with the same problem or issues that refuse to seek Jesus. You see, there is someone in the house of the Lord today that is tired of being in the situation you've been in. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. You're sick of that old mess and all of that junk and keep holding you back. I dare you to step out and come to Jesus, to reach to the hem of His garment. I want to give you a different course of action to take. This moment of your setbacks and your rejections and your letdowns, I want to give you an alternate to searching all over and couldn't find nobody. I want to suggest that you start to use Jesus as your first resource rather than your last. Too many of us blood-washed, water-baptized, Holy Ghost-filled saints are wasting our time on some old stuff that we know we don't need to be in. We need to be reaching out for Jesus and doing what we're supposed to be.
Right.
stop
right.
letting the devil hijack our joy,
I know that's
incarcerate our peace,
Yes.
and step out and begin to praise God like you never praised God before. Because if He did it for somebody else, He can do it for you. But it's up for you to do what you're supposed to be doing. You gotta press on, even when you're not able to make it. You gotta press on. You gotta get on up and come on in.
Yeah.
You gotta keep pressing on. You see, look at this certain woman from another angle, not just the usual touch of the hem of a garment. Just try to pull something else out of this. Just make Jesus our first resource instead of making Him our last resource. It's time for us to do the right things at the right time. You see, the text says that sister, certain woman had spent all that she had. Now, maybe your story is a little bit different than spending all that you have had. Perhaps, brothers, you have did some other thing, spend some other precious commodity. Perhaps you have given all at your job. You're at work every day. Rain, sleet, or snow. Like the postman, but you're not the postman. No storm will keep you from work. But your boss, he knows this. He knows he can count on you. And you got an all right job, but you still feel like you're missing something. You still feel like you're not happy. Every time there is a potential for promotion, that same supervisor, he looks over you. You gave your all, and still none the better. Jesus is the answer. You got to press on. So let me try something else. You gave your all to your children. Whenever they call, you're there. You run to help them. Whenever they need you, you provide your best. You give your all your resources, and still none the better. They grow up and go on and go away until they need something. Let's look at it another perspective. And then there is a relationship mishap. You're giving your all to her and totally submitted to him, and still you're none the better. In some cases, you're accused, abused, misused, and still you're none the better. Your dreams have turned to nightmares, blackouts, black eyes, broken limbs, and still you're none the better. But Jesus is the answer. Well, my sisters and brothers, I come to let you know that if you lean and depend on Jesus,
Oh, yes.
He'll make a way
Oh, yes, He will.
out of no way. This certain woman, she heard that Jesus was on his way, and she began to make her way through the crowd to get to Jesus. She pressed on. Why not press on to church like you press on to work? Can you brag about missing church? Not missing church like you brag about not missing work? Say that again.
Say it.
Somebody didn't want to hear that. Why not press on to church like you press on to work?
Right.
Can you brag about missing church like you can brag not missing
Say it.
work? But what we do is we find a reason not to come into the house of the Lord. Family, friends, football games, just a little headache. I'm not going to make it to church this morning. But you clock in, you hit that clock,
Yeah, we do.
Come on.
even when you're
That's right.
barely making it. With a headache, with a heartache, through your ups and your downs, I dare you to start coming to church and pressing on to Jesus. I dare you to press on to Bible study. I dare you to press on to Sunday school. dare you to press on to prayer meeting.
Come on.
Certain woman, we got to press.
Yes.
Look at this. Maybe you're ashamed of your condition. And you feel like you're not worthy. But keep pressing on. See, when you press yourself into a blessing. You may be having haters that is keeping you out of the church. But press on. You may be mad at the deacon, but press on. You may be mad at the ministers, but press on. You may even be mad at the pastor, but press on. Don't let no one keeping you from getting what Jesus has for you. You ought to press on no matter what the cost. When it's time, you ought to keep coming to church. You ought to keep praising God like you've been praising God. Don't get caught up in that mess. Just keep coming, keep pressing.
Press on. Yeah. All right.
The text says, when she touched Jesus, immediately she was healed. Is there anyone in here this morning that need something to happen immediately? You need your problem solved. You need your bills paid. You need a blessing right now. Would I dare you to lift your hands up and give God some praise like you never gave him some praise? And give God a shout. Give God your best dance. Give God your best song. I dare you to praise him anyway. You gotta have it anyway. Praise or anyhow. Praise.
All right.
I will lift my hands up.
Oh, yes.
In the midst of the storms of life, I will reach out to Jesus and let somebody know, for God I live and for God I die, because God has brought me from a mighty long way. Is there anyone in here know what I'm talking about? Jesus can fix your situation. Jesus can move problems out of your life. The doctor might have said that's all he can do, but Jesus is the answer. You got to press on. Your blessing is in your pressing. If you keep on pressing toward Jesus, no matter what's in your way, you got to reach out and touch the hem of his garment. Jesus is the answer. Jesus is the answer. Keep pressing on. Keep reaching towards the sky. Keep reaching towards Jesus. Jesus is the answer. They say to the lost, he is the way. To the dead, he is life. If you're hungry, he is bread to a starving land. If you're thirsty, he is living water that you need. The bright and morning star.